Hello everyone, welcome to all of you to philosophy classes by me, Vivekanand. Here in Topper IAS Bengaluru, we have launched and we are launching a new series, new classes afresh for philosophy optional, who are preparing for UPSC civil service examination, and those who are interested in philosophy subject and choosing philosophy as their optional, and those who are exploring this option. For all of you, I'm welcoming and I'm starting this new philosophy classes here in Bengaluru, and it is a very good news for all of you. Those who are interested in philosophy can come and start this journey along with us. So I'm welcoming all of you to this video, and purpose of today's video is to introduce you to the world of philosophy for your UPSC journey as an optional. And today I'm carrying out an orientation session. So those who are confused regarding taking optional, and those who have not explored philosophy, and also those who have explored a little about philosophy, today can explore more about it and come to a conclusion. Okay, today I am introducing you. I will explain you why to choose philosophy as an optional, and how it can create a lot of difference in your preparation, and how you can boost your marks by choosing philosophy as optional. So let us begin this orientation session. Okay, so I'm introducing you. This is my short introduction. Okay, these are philosophy optional for UPSC civil service examination. These are the classes I'm beginning with. This is by me. My name is Vivekanand, and I am here from Topper IAS in Bangalore. Okay, and those who are interested at the end of the session can contact us through these numbers. Okay, so yeah, first of all, for many of you, the term philosophy must be having different meanings. Okay, let me demystify some of the myths that are associated with this optional. Okay, because I can see that there is a general sense of dissection whenever many people hear about the term philosophy. The reason behind that is they have not explored it, and they do not have they do not know the meaning of philosophy in particular or in actuality. Okay, so this lack of knowledge or ignorance is something creating some sort of aversion in the minds of the people. So here my purpose is to demystify many of those misconceptions that are associated in general with respect to philosophy optional. Okay, so first of all, what exactly is philosophy? What exactly is philosophy? Okay, so without understanding what is philosophy, you cannot one cannot attempt or dare to choose this optional. Okay, so philosophy, okay, in literal sense, okay, etymologically, philo means love and sophia means wisdom. So philosophy is love for the wisdom. Philosophy is what? Love for the wisdom. Okay, so now comes the question, what is wisdom? So wisdom is a very broader term. Wisdom is a broader term which encompasses knowledge, prudence, and your intellectual ability and your cognitive ability. Okay, so the combination of all these different abilities will generate wisdom in an individual's mind. Okay, for example, when you say knowledge, when you have a set of data and collection of data, set of information about different subjects and different things and aspects of different disciplines in the world, that is called knowledge. So raw data is knowledge. Okay, but how do you use that knowledge is an essential and different component, correct? So that involves other aspects of learning process. Okay, so other aspects include prudence. For example, if you do not have prudence, you do not use the logic to arrive at a decision in a quick span of time. So wisdom encompasses, along with knowledge, prudence also it includes. Not just prudence, it also includes intellect. It also includes logic. It also includes critical thinking. Okay, so a person with strong philosophical bent of mind would always have all these qualities at a time simultaneously in the form of convergence, and that generates wisdom. Okay, so a person with higher wisdom, of course, would be in a better position, in an advantageous position to arrive at better decisions, be it life, be it in your optional, in your UPSC preparation, in general studies, in SCS, ethics, or wherever you go, even in your personal life. This wisdom is going to help you. Okay, so this was the broader introduction to the subject of philosophy. Okay, so philosophy is, in literal sense, it means love of wisdom. Okay, so philosophy generally as a subject, as a discipline, it deals with fundamental questions of life. So philosophy is that which always goes to the roots of any issue. So every subject has philosophy. Every subject has philosophy. When you get into the basic and root concepts of that, you are getting into the questions of why and what. Okay, so before how. Okay, so when you critically examine the different dimensions of a particular concept of a particular discipline, that itself is a form of philosophy. So philosophy always raises fundamental questions. So in general, philosophy raises the questions of life, existence, okay, the fundamental concepts related to knowledge, values, mind, and also reason and logic. So all of these terms which are fundamental in nature, hence they fall into the category of philosophy. So philosophy always encourages critical thinking. Philosophy always encourages critical thinking and rational inquiry. Now, what does it mean? Critical thinking means understanding and considering the different dimensions of a particular event. Okay, uh, a person who invokes critical thinking in his decision making would not be so judgmental. He would not quickly judge. He would not go by the herd mentality. Okay, he would not be biased toward particular existing opinions. Rather, he would be more unbiased. He would be less superstitious. He would be less uh, stereotypical, okay, and he would be less prejudiced. What does it mean? Such a person, if he does not have all these distractions, when he observes an event or a situation, he would observe it as it is. He would observe it as it is rather than seeing it through the lens of already existing opinions. Okay, so when a person sees an event or a thing as it is, then he would get multiple dimensions of that thing. Okay, for example, instead of saying that privatization is bad for for equality, for example, if this is an opinion, okay, a person who does not have critical thinking ability would not directly, explicitly, okay, say that privatization is bad. If a person with critical thinking ability is there, he would say it in a different way. For example, he might say that privatization might be good for the growth and innovations, but it might not be helpful when it involves distribution of the wealth and the income. So he brings that soft corner. He tries to bring different dimensions, and he would not be so direct and judgmental about a particular thing. Okay, so hopefully I made you understand what does actually means critical thinking. Okay, so philosophy actually involves this sort of critical thinking. It does not involves a straightforward judgmental opinion. Rather, it includes all encompassing viewpoints. Okay, so hopefully I made you understand how does philosophy help shape a person's personality, as his wisdom will improve and he will develop the ability of critical thinking and also rational inquiry. Okay, next coming to our preparation, UPSC preparation. Next question is why to choose philosophy as an optional. Okay, if anybody comes to me and asks me, sir, why shall I choose this optional? Okay, so without any flattering or buttering, or without any false encouragements, I can rationally and objectively say that, okay, so there are certain objective points which anybody can seriously consider, okay, and try to understand it. So first of all, philosophy optional has a short syllabus. This is evident. You can go and check the philosophy optional syllabus. It is a short syllabus. First point is a short syllabus, because in paper 1, in section A, there are around 11 topics. In section B, there are 9 topics. In total, there are around 20 topics. By reading 20 topics, you are completing paper 1. And in paper 2, again in section A, there are around 10 topics. In section B, there are again 10 topics. That means paper 2 also has 20 topics. 20 topics in paper 1 and 20 topics in paper 2. Okay, which will reach to around 40 topics, which will reach to around 40 topics in total. So 40 topics in total is enough for you to read and complete the syllabus, and that is possible for you to finish it off within 3 months, and at max 3.5 to 4 months, at maximum 4 months. And if you are a hardworking person, if you are giving a higher proportion of your everyday time for reading optional, I can bet it that you can finish it in 2.5 months also. Okay, so at max it will be 3.4, 3.5 or 3.5 months to 4 months. You can finish off the syllabus effectively. Okay, effectively you can finish. Second thing is, it's a scoring subject. Okay, there is a myth that UPSC philosophy optional is not a scoring, but that's actually a myth. Okay, so when you see the success rate, when you go and do certain research, when you see the success rate, philosophy is among the top optionals in terms of its performance in the selection process. Okay, so for example, philosophy has success rate of more than 8%, which is close to success rate of other options which include anthropology, PSN and all. So more or less, philosophy also has one of the highest success rates in philosophy in our final rankings. Okay, and also this is a strong subject. Second thing is, it's a scoring subject, and consistent performance over a period of years, okay, has been seen. Among the people who have chosen philosophy as optional, the success rate is high. Though the number of people who are choosing philosophy optional might be less in comparison to options like anthropology, but whoever have chosen, among them the success rate is as equal or as equal as other optionals. Okay, and other this advantage comes along with other advantages. Other advantages include it has a short syllabus. Okay, so one more thing I have missed out here and I can add it here is, apart from short syllabus, the optional the syllabus is a fixed syllabus, has a fixed syllabus. What is the meaning of fixed syllabus? It does mean that you need not add any current affairs part into that. Once you read and understand all the concepts which are given in the syllabus, that is enough for every topic given in the syllabus. Okay, concomitantly you can see that there will be a question in the question paper. Okay, in your mains question paper, definitely there will be question on every topic that has been mentioned in the optional syllabus. Okay, and there will be no additions. You need not have to go through multiple newspapers, magazines, do some research to add more data into it so that you can make your answers effective. Such hectic tasks are not required here. Once you read the concepts and understand it, that is enough. You can revise the same content. Okay, for certain depth you can go through a few other sources which are like basic textbooks or some standard books you can go through and add certain points just to add depth into that, but the width is comparatively lesser. So the extra tedious and hard work of getting into multiple newspapers you can avoid here, and that will definitely save your time post prelims. After prelims you will have a window of around 90 days where you have to prepare for GS, essay and also optional. Okay, in that, if optional syllabus that you need to revise is less, that the amount of time that you save, you can dedicate it for GS and essays. Okay, in that way it is very much helpful. Next, another thing that I want to demystify for all of you is that there is another misconception that for choosing philosophy optional, it is assumed that you need to have a background in philosophy in your bachelor's or in your as a postgraduate subject, but that is a myth. It is better if you do not have any background. So for UPSC optional choosing philosophy, okay, it is better, I'm telling you that it is better if you do not have any background. Okay, so students or candidates from any educational background, so be it humanities, be it technical subject, okay, so from any background, so students of any background can choose it and they can learn it. Okay, because here you are not going to become a philosopher. Here you are not going to become a philosopher. Rather, you are becoming a student of philosophy. Okay, so there is a lot of difference between becoming a philosopher and learning a fixed syllabus given in the philosophy optional. Okay, so why I am encouraging you to choose philosophy as optional is not because you will have to add your own opinions there. You need not have to add any opinions and your ideas. Rather, understand the ideas given by different philosophers and just represent it. That understanding is enough. Understand this. Hence, you are not going to become philosophers. Rather, you will be studying this subject. Okay, mostly objectively. Subjectivity is very less here. Okay, so objectively you can study the subject and just represent it in the answer sheets and you can score high. So hence, no prior background is needed. Hence, because it is mostly logical and it is conceptual. So because of these reasons, philosophy has some of the advantages, like it will instill this aspect of critical thinking and the quality of being more rational and logical. Okay, because of these reasons, it will help you in essay writings. You know that recently UPSC in recent period in essay papers has started asking abstract concepts. It is giving abstract concepts and philosophical concepts, right? So in that, a person with philosophy as his background, of course, would be in a better position to understand the essence of that particular topic. So when you understand the essence of the topic, it is much easier for you to connect to the different aspects of that essay topic, and you can write it in a better manner. Okay, so hence it definitely boosts your score, or definitely it's going to help you in essay answer writing and essay writing, and also helps you in ethics. Okay, so ethics also requires a lot of critical thinking and your ability to distinguish between good and bad. Okay, that also requires critical thinking ability. Hence, in ethics also it helps. In ethics, it also helps in another way. Okay, so there is a particular section given in the ethics syllabus. Okay, so moral thinkers topic has been given in your essay syllabus. Okay, so many of the moral thinkers you directly study here in the philosophy optional subject. Okay, so in that way also it's going to help you. And in your personality test interview also it's going to help you immensely. Okay, because of the quality of critical thinking. Okay, so where you are being less judgmental and you are being more practical and seeing different dimensions of a particular issue. Okay, so this quality of you can definitely be evident, and it will be so apparent that the panel can observe it, and that will have a positive impression on them. Okay, in that way also, in interview also, the philosophy subject reading helps you. Okay, so it also boosts personality and logical reasoning. Okay, so let us move forward and see some other aspects of this philosophy. Who should choose philosophy as their option? Okay, so this is also a great question that I have found out that many of you might be getting this even as you are going through this video. So I will say that anybody who enjoys abstract and conceptual thinking, anybody who has ability to understand concepts, okay, they can choose this. Anybody who has ability to understand abstract concepts, definitely they can choose it. Okay, and anybody who has strong reading and comprehension skills, okay, and actually while reading philosophy, you will develop these qualities naturally. Okay, even if you do not have these qualities in a strong manner imbibed in you, while going through the philosophy optional, while going through the concepts of philosophy subject, you will develop these concepts, these abilities in you naturally. Okay, so it is an byproduct of reading philosophy. You will naturally develop strong reading and comprehension skills. Okay, and for people from any background can choose it. Science, humanities, engineering, all people from all background can choose it. And also somebody who want to have a high input to output ratio. What does it mean? So philosophy is one of such a subjects. Mostly, I think it's one of the very few optional subjects where input to output ratio is high. What does it mean? It does means that the amount of energy you are investing and the amount of time, specifically the amount of time that you are investing in the optional, and the concomitant score you are making, okay, the respective score you are getting based on the amount of time you are spending, that will be very high. So for a limited time period, within a short period of time, you can learn better and score higher. Hence, input to output ratio for philosophy option is one of the highest in terms of time. Hence, it will save a lot of your time, and I am guaranteeing you that post prelims you will enjoy this subject and you will feel lucky to have chosen this subject, provided that you have interest in conceptual thinking. Okay, so syllabus overview. Now let me give a brief overview of the syllabus. I have not included the detailed syllabus discussion here. For that, I will make another video on that. For now, I am giving you a very brief introduction on the syllabus of the philosophy optional. So in paper 1, there are two sections. One is for Western philosophy and another is for Indian philosophy. So Indian philosophy and Western philosophy are comprising parts of paper 1. Okay, so here I have mentioned a brief overview. Indian philosophy includes philosophical schools of Buddhism, Jainism, Vedanta, Nyaya, etc. Okay, so these are the schools we are going to understand and study in Indian philosophy. And for Western philosophy, you must have heard about Plato, Aristotle, and some medieval philosophers like Descartes, Kant, and also in later time we'll also study the existentialism, the philosophy of existentialism, and few modern philosophies like linguistic philosophy. Okay, so all of that we'll study as part of Western philosophy. Then paper 2 has socio-political philosophy, so which most of you can easily connect because it includes topics like different forms of governments like monarchy, democracy, and different political ideologies like Marxism, and different topics like anarchy and caste discrimination, gender discrimination, Gandhian philosophy, Ambedkar philosophy related to caste discrimination. So all of these related subjects are part of paper 2 section A, that is socio-political philosophy. So within paper 2 you also have philosophy of religion. In philosophy of religion you will study concepts of God, evil, attributes of God, notions of God, and the purpose of religion, different aspects of religion. So that includes philosophy of religion. So in brief, in short, paper 1 has two sections: Indian philosophy and Western philosophy, and paper 2 has two sections: socio-political philosophy and philosophy of religion. So this was brief overview of the syllabus. For the detailed syllabus discussion, I will make a separate video. So paper-wise breakdown also has been given here. Okay, now we have completed this. Next, how studying philosophy helps you in GS, essay, ethics, and interview. I hope we have already discussed about this, so hence I can skip this. You already know this. We have already discussed this. Philosophy success rate. Yes. Okay. This I was again wanted to highlight this. So there is a myth that philosophy does not have high success rate. This is wrong. Okay. So we can go in last 5 years. There is a consistent performance across the years. Okay. Success rate is among the top optionals. Okay, and optional with one of the highest success rates. And for example, this year, last year, in 2024, ranked third, Dongra Archit Kumar. He has secured rank 3 with philosophy as his optional. Okay, he has scored close to 300 marks in philosophy optional, and Avinash Kumar has scored 319. Okay, so there are many examples who have scored 250 plus, 300 plus. Okay, and hence philosophy is a subject where you can score 300 plus. Okay, Okay, for any option scoring 300 plus is a challenge for any option. Hence, there is challenge in philosophy option also to score 300 plus, that you should accept, and this is true for every optional. Okay, but in philosophy, scoring 250 plus is much easier compared to other optionals in terms of the amount of time you are dedicating. Okay, hence scoring 300 plus, 320 plus, 330 plus is very much possible in philosophy, provided that you work something extra. Okay. How to approach the subject for this also I will give you a brief explanation. How do we approach subject when if I start this whenever I start this classes, okay, which is going to happen in the next week, in the coming week. I'm starting with this optional classes. In these classes I'm going to start with Indian philosophy, then I'm going to Western philosophy, then I'm going to paper 2. In paper 2, socio-political philosophy and philosophy of religion, where I will take philosophy of religion first, and then in the end we can discuss about socio-political philosophy. This is my way forward on my approach to the syllabus. Even though in our syllabus Western philosophy has been given in the section A in paper 1, okay, in the beginning, I will go to Indian philosophy first, then come to Western philosophy. But for that I have my own reasons, and which you also will be convinced. The reasons are, Indian philosophy is somewhat relatable to all of you, because the concepts like the liberation, the moksha, Atman, Brahman, so all of these are relatable for all of you. When I talk about Buddhism, Jainism, okay, somewhat you will study in GEOS also, some idea will be having, so we can easily relate. Okay, so with Indian philosophy, and Indian philosophy is more comprehensive. Okay, studying Indian philosophy in the first place gives you a firm foundation and a strong background. Okay, so then when you start Western philosophy, on a comparative scale you will find it little bit easier and more interesting, and comparative knowledge will be better if you start with Indian philosophy and then shift to Western philosophy. And the next thing is, I will make you write answers regularly, everyday answer of every topic. Just right after 1 week after the starting of the session, philosophy classes, I will make you write answers. Okay, so diligently if you write previous year questions and model questions that I'm going to give you, definitely your score will get boosted, and most of your preparation can happen through answer writing only. Okay, so that you will enjoy. Practice writing answers regularly and use examples, comparisons and diagrams. And again, philosophy has fixed syllabus, comparatively shorter syllabus, but it has certain depth. Okay, to catch that depth you need to attend the classes. The guidance is very much essential. Okay, and after that you need to revise the same thing multiple times, which you will find interesting. You need to write the same thing again and again, revise multiple times. Only then one can have better grip over these deep philosophical concepts. Okay, so next, recommended books also have given here. Okay, so about which we can again have detailed discussion. Okay, along with my class notes. Okay, class notes is mostly enough for your preparation. 90%, 90 to 95% of your preparation will be sufficient when you go through my classes and the notes that I'm going to give you. But for your reference, you can choose these books and read it for extra value additions. Okay, for paper 1, Datta and Chakatsi for Indian philosophy, on why Messiah book is there for Western philosophy, and for paper 2, OP Goba, and why OP Goba is for political philosophy, and why Messiah book again is for philosophy of religion. Okay, other reference sources include IGNO notes, which are available on the internet. I will also help you to get that, and previous year papers, previous year question papers and analysis of previous year question papers is also essential, as you do for other options and GS papers. Okay, and Topper copies also you must go through, so that you will have better understanding regarding answer writing strategies for philosophy option. Next, common challenges regarding, okay, so let us not ignore the challenges that are being faced by philosophy option students also. Okay, every optional subject, every subject, in fact everything in life all has pros as well as cons. So let me not ignore the cons or some challenges which is being faced by philosophy optional, which include abstract concepts. As I'm repeating again, for those people who have keen interest in learning conceptual topics, for them it's going to be very easy. Okay, so one challenge is that philosophy includes abstract concepts. Okay, so for that, how can I help you with that challenges? I will give you analogies and I will simplify things and I will give you flowcharts. Okay, hence to face this abstract concept challenge, I am here to help you with respect to that. Okay, next, another thing is, most of the people, you might not have any background in philosophy. That is also a challenge. Okay, but I'm telling you, this is considered to be a textbook challenge, but in practicality, a person who does not have any prior background in philosophy can definitely read it, come across every topic and learn it afresh. That will be more advantageous. Okay, that will be more advantageous when you read a subject as a fresh subject. Okay, so your interest, enthusiasm will be much higher, and you would not be confused by some existing knowledge in that. Okay, so hence it can, even though I mentioned it as part of a challenge, Actually it is also an advantage to have no background in philosophy. And writing answers, okay, again in every option writing answer is a challenge. So here in philosophy option also, actually I would say that writing philosophy answers is much easier, because to learn philosophical concept itself takes higher amount of energy. Okay, to understand the concept itself, okay, it goes your mind goes into depths of philosophical concepts. So when you spend sufficient time in limited content to understand the depth, okay, so already enough content get ingrained in your mind. When the concepts are ingrained in your mind, to present it in writing format, it is much easier. Okay, so even though I have included writing answers as a challenge, which of course for many of you for GS as well as other options in philosophy it is comparatively easier. Okay, and limited resources, this is also commonly heard challenge, but this is also an advantage. Reading one notes, okay, is enough for all of you. For reference I have given you certain books. Okay, so these are the challenges which is commonly heard among the UPSC fraternity or the community of UPSC students, candidates who talk about this. But I'm here to demystify that each of these challenges is actually not a real challenge. Okay, because many of these are only myths. Okay, so that's why I'm here to demystify those things. So sample questions also I have included. Probably if I discuss this, you might not understand this. You can just go through this. You can pause the video and go through this. These are sample videos I have given. The sample previous year questions I have given. So let me skip this and go to next one. How our program helps you. Okay, here I'm going to start step-by-step syllabus coverage. As I've already told you, I will start with Indian philosophy, and then I'll go to Western philosophy, and I will make you write answers, and I will provide you notes, and also I will give you tests. Both well, our regular course, we will do PYQs, and later I will also give you the test series. Okay, whereby I will give you questions which are being framed by me as per the trend and the expectations. Okay, so step-by-step syllabus coverage, simplified explanation of complex concepts. Okay, and focus on answer writing and PYQs. Weekly test will be there definitely, and there will be discussions on the tests. Okay, so all of this will be covered under one single program. Okay, and this is available here in Bengaluru. It can be available for you both in online as well as offline format, offline mode. Okay, and there will be personalized mentorship. Okay, you can call me anytime, approach me anytime, and ask me any doubts regarding understanding of any of the philosophical concepts which are given there. Okay, and summary philosophy for you. The question is, if you love ideas and logic, if you want a high output to input ratio, high input to output ratio, that means it's because high output subject. And if you open to a new way of thinking, and if you're ready to write philosophical answers, definitely for you, the philosophy option in this course is welcoming all of you. Okay, and I am here to do 10 times harder than what you do, and I will be available for you anytime. Okay, and I am taking this as a challenge on behalf of you. So please come and join our courses. Okay, and lastly, some of the added advantages of joining this course includes there's open floor for doubts. We can discuss about expectations as well as strategies, and next steps for preparation enrollment. For all of them, you can contact me here. So thank you. My name is Vivekanand again. This is from Topper IAS Bengaluru. So philosophy begins in wonder. So in wonder, let us begin this journey, and you can explore more about the subject. And those who are interested, please come and join us. Okay, for contact, please note down these numbers, and please come to us, and we are here to welcome you. Those who are interested in philosophy, we will take you ahead, and we will be part of your success journey. Thank you so much.